Today I am going to be working on a shelf for my mother to put Christmas decorations on. It will end up like this, and stained with a homemade walnut stain that I got from just standard walnut shells by sucking all the juice out of them. First, this needs to be sanded, and then it'll be bolted together. And stuff we got in here. All thread to hold the bottom to the top. These bolts to keep these from flapping around once it's put together. And I got a sander and some sandpaper and a rubber mount to stick it all together. This is going to take some time, so it will not all be videotaped. It'll be a multi-part video, and it's really just me playing with my camera so I can figure out how to edit multiple videos together. And let's see how it goes. Alright, got one board sanded down with 80 grit. Gotta get another sand with 120 to smooth it out. This is what we're going to add to what we already had last year. As you can see, this has a finish on it. It needs to come off for the walnut stain. That is where I'm at this point. This will get an 80 grit sand to get this off, and then it will be smoothened up with 120. And that will be my next step. Alright. Rough sanding is done. This board here is a test board for when I put my stain on it. I've never stained anything. I'll show you what it's going to look like here. Get a rough idea how it's supposed to go together. It's still going to get a it's been sanded with 80 grit so far. I'm going to go 120 grit. Smooth it out even more. Again, but it's going to do it anyway. Just going to sit down on here like this. And that'll all go together. Decided to take a break and have a beer. Okay, at this point everything has been sanded 80 grit and then 220 grit. The engines and stuff you didn't get to see, that was already put together before my brother-in-law brought it to me. Me and him worked on it at his house, and I brought it here to finish. As far as the sanding goes, everything has been sanded 220 grit, and I even went to the extent of sanding all angles on that like this, including the sample board, so as to reduce chance of splinters, anything like that. It's not put together, of course. My next step is to attempt to put a homemade walnut stain on it. The homemade walnut stain I got from, well, we got like half a dozen walnut trees. We collected the walnuts, hulled them, took the hulls, threw them into a 55-gallon drum. It rained in them, so we figured that they was scrap at that point. So we dumped them out of that, put them in a 60-gallon trash bag, and realized that there was black goo oozing out of it. So we took a chain hoist, hoisted it up in the tree, poked a hole into the bottom of the trash bag, and let that drain into a couple 1-gallon buckets, and that's where I got my walnut stain. And that is what I'm going to attempt to stain these with. It's what I'm calling my homemade walnut stain. It's really just walnut hulls that were soaked with water, and we collected it. But everything is really nice and smooth. There's no splinters here at all that I can feel. I've been sitting on this for a long time because, well, this is going to be part of Mom's Christmas decorations, and she goes all out with her little porcelain house things, which is a bit excessive, but it looks cool. Nobody else does that, as far as I know. But, more to come in the next part of the video. Okay. I was going to wait till it was all done and then put it up, but I did not expect this result. This is the one side of the board. Give it time to autofocus. This is my homemade walnut stain. Never thought it'd turn out this good. But wow, it's not quite dry yet. I'll have a full dry version of the entire thing assembled once it's done. But there you go. There's an example of what it's going to look like. Okay, this is the finished product before drying. I'm going to add one more excerpt to this video. I'm going to go to hairdryer and see if I can advance the drying of it. As you can see, well, I think it looks really good myself. This is going to have all kinds of, I don't know, ceramic houses and stuff on it. But that's it. Natural walnut stain. None of that store-bought shit. And there you have it. After seeing how it looked, it got kind of a dull look to it. So I decided I wanted to make it shine. So I went and I got a can of this. It's Krylon Clear Glaze, or Krylon triple thick crystal clear glaze. One can wasn't enough. I'm gonna have to get another one, finish the sides. But as you can see, it looks pretty cool. Okay. This here is what we used to put the clear coat on it. This is the final product of the shelf. As you can see, that clear coat stuff gives it a nice glassy look, which I'm hoping will reflect the Christmas lights really well and make everything shine. Let me go ahead and turn it over again. I painted all sides of it, that way the underneath side down? Yeah, just turn it to where, see the whole thing. And I might make one more video to add to this once to show what it looks like with actual lights in it.